Morning, guys. Sorry we're starting a little late. Still just setting up here. So we're looking at NAS on the left there. And US 500 on the right. US 500 gesticulating right around the opening fair value gap. We have a downside expansion model. So we're looking for potential sell. If you are following along in your demo accounts, please keep in mind this is for educational purposes only. I believe you can set a reminder. We're going to start setting this this stream on a schedule, so you can just hit your reminder, and you'll get a notification on your phone. NAS slowly moving back in to the opening fair value gap. We've had a really bearish morning. London pushed down hard all the way into New York. Now we're seeing a bit of a drawback. NAS definitely the weaker one today. We do have some divergence on the TDI. A lot of divergence happening in general right now between the two indices, or even the three indices. The only reason we don't look at US 30 is it's primarily decoupled from the rest of these. It's kind of doing its own thing right now. It's at all-time highs. We have a divergence happening here. And this is on the 15-minute on US 500. But again, since we have a downside expansion model, we're primarily looking, even though we are oversold, we're still more interested in potential sell setups. We want to see what NAS does in this fair value gap, and if bodies close below 61 and 71. Ideally, I'd like to see it bounce off of the red, which is the 20 EMA. Maybe even wick the 50, which is the aqua, and then eventually start heading down and give us that bearish confirmation. That's what we'd like to look for. As mentioned before, I do not like to sell when we're extremely below that 50% PD array. But this is just that kind of a morning. We are below the weekly range, which is painted out by these aqua lines. I do want to see again. Let's see price get up into this area. Right now we're just, again, we're extremely bearish downside expansion model. I'd like to see some kind of a pullback. Otherwise, if this thing just keeps pushing down, we're going to wait for a bearish confirmation, and still we'd have to see a pullback before we get interested. US 500 bouncing off of the fair value gap on the 15. Let's take a look at it on the 5. So since US 500 never really dropped as much as NAS did, it's already been sitting in its fair value gap. This might be the better sell, but this is the weaker of the two. If you're looking for a sell, you want to sell the weaker pair. If you're looking for a buy, you want to buy the stronger pair. But on days like this, I'd rather wait for a confirmation than a retracement, and then that rejection to let us know. Can you check out the Learning Hub on the back end of fractaleffects.com? You're going to see some advanced entries that we teach, and they go in conjunction with the rest of the strategy. Excuse me. US 500 rejecting off the 20 EMA. And the opening fair value gap. Much, much smaller range, obviously. Still just patiently waiting. As mentioned before, we want to see NAS get up into the golden zone. And US 500 seems to be already rejecting. So just waiting for confirmation on either of these. We're only using the 3 EMAs right now. We're using our own indicator that comes with the Fractal Effects strategy. We're using the TDI, and we're using the EMAs. TDI is primarily just to show us if we're overbought, oversold. We want to see some divergence in here, but this is a lagging indicator. Whereas the EMA? EMA is a little better. And then as far as our On main indicator, we just paint out the primary sections to look for, and we want to see a box break. Now keep in mind, once this box breaks to one side, there's a 75 to 80% chance that the bottom of that box will not be broken. And that's what we use to create our bias. That's why we wait for confirmation. That's why it's important to wait for confirmation. Slowly moving back. We might actually just get rejection here. Maybe we'll candle wick up here if we're going to continue on with this bearish trend. We don't really want to see it get too high up. The 15-minute, we're still rejecting at that fair value gap. Patiently waiting for this to get up here. As mentioned before, our bias is bearish. NAS has been dropping. Even if we look at the daily, the size of that daily candle. On the daily, we could be coming to test these relative equal lows. So I think we will be heading down at least a little bit further, maybe even touch the 50 on the daily before heading back up. So yeah, our short-term bias is bearish right now. As mentioned before, the only real point of confluence that I'm not satisfied with is the fact that we are below the 50 PD array, but that can't be the only thing. We have to match up all points of confluence. On our decision tree, we're slowly favoring shorts right now. NAS finally in the fair value gap. Getting some rejection. I want to see confirmation. Just want to check something here on the 1 minute. My apologies if my charts are moving a little slow. Anytime we do a live stream, I've noticed it slows a few things down. NAS now pushing down. US 500 as well. Still want to see that bearish confirmation. We'll see a triangle appear from the indicator. That'll let us know. And we just wait for a retracement back into a key zone, rejection, and then distribution. If we see the bottom of this range break and we get confirmation immediately, that lets us know that this market is extremely bearish, that it didn't even want to retrace higher than 38%. 38% when you see a market turn around from this zone, that means it's extremely bearish or bullish depending on which direction the trend is going. So if we break the bottom of this and we already get a short confirmation, that'll give us a good indication to go short once we see a retracement. Again, it's just about staying patient, waiting to see the setups. And remember, it's about matching up all points of confluence, even though we're seeing a divergence happening here on US 500 on the TDI. All indications that both these markets are pushing down right now kind of supersedes that. NAS getting close to a confirmation, so is the US 500. for confirmation. Remember, we want to see a body close. A wick alone does not count. You will not see the indicator give you a confirmation without a full body close over the range. Slowly coming up on 8 o'clock. Our goal is to be live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10:30 to about noon Eastern Standard Time. And just give our market analysis. Keep in mind this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. You are following along with us. You should be doing so in a demo account. NAS now slowly pushing up. Let's see if we get a deeper retracement, if we're ready to actually give that confirmation. Let's see which one of these gives us confirmation first. On days like this where the market is extremely bearish or bullish, the good thing is we do get confirmation relatively quick. Let's hope that's the case today. A bit of a slow draw right now. Still just patiently waiting. Just waiting patiently to see confirmation. Right now our bias is bearish. On the left here we have US, NAS 100. On the right we have US 500 or ES. We have a downside expansion model where London held as well. So in London we got a confirmation low. We saw a retracement back into a key level, and then we saw displacement. We want to see the same here. We want to see confirmation and then retracement, or we want to see a deeper retracement, then eventually a confirmation. Market is just gesticulating right there at the bottom of the range. NAS would be the first one to give us a confirmation. And again, this is not a coincidence. That price is gesticulating right now. Keep in mind all this information actually corresponds with our data aggregate, or algorithmic data that we have on the back end of Fractal Effects that lets us know over the last 20 years pretty much what the market did. So if the markets are controlled by AI, what we've essentially created is an AI translator to let you know exactly what to look for and when to look for it, and to help you make a more well-informed decision. And we'll eventually get into the back end in future sessions. Right now we just want to focus on the indicator and focus on the charts. Just patiently waiting for that confirmation. Now slowly pushing. Let's see if NAS wants to make one more run up before it pushes down. Remember, on days like this, the only way now our bias changes to bullish is if we actually get a bullish confirmation. Outside of that, my bias remains bearish. That's the main thing. That's the main focus of this indicator, is to give you a well-informed bias along with the aggregate on the back end that lets us kind of maneuver the market, which helps us figure out exactly how far the market's going to retrace and then extend. Now it's making another push down. Let's see if we can't get that confirmation for 11:15. That's pushing down, slowly close to giving us a confirmation. Remember, we want to see that body close over the range, not just wick. And then once we have that bearish confirmation, then we're just going to wait for another retracement and rejection off of key zones. Since NAS is the weaker one, it's the more appropriate one to actually look for. There's our confirmation slowly going on and off as it waits for this body to close. NAS unable to break that range. Still sitting right at the bottom of that range. Remember, patience is key. This is where most traders fail. They either get FOMO or they actually avoid jumping in. But you have to see the right setup, the right confluence, and just trust the fact that the indicator and all the other points of confluence are working for you. Trying to get confirmation, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left in this candle on the 5-minute. US 500 close to the bottom as well now. Just dancing at the bottom there. NAS pushing up again. swept the previous low, closed inside the range. Could be pushing back up. Remember, when we're looking for a true sweep, we want to see candle bodies closing, not just wicks. Wicks are more or less telltale signs that the market wants to push up, but then it wants to eventually come back down to take out all those equal relative lows. Again, just waiting for confirmation. Now that's pushing down again. Let's see if we can't get confirmation this time. Two minutes left in the closing of this candle. Just bouncing off the bottom there. Close to, close to giving us confirmation. Just creating more straight lines. So many people love trading New York Open or even news. But those are chaotic times to be trading. We like to wait till the dust settles, where the moves are a little bit more obvious. Slowly getting a confirmation here. Let's see if it sticks. This looks like it might. Three minutes, 25 seconds left in this candle. Just waiting, still for that confirmation. Price moving back up a little. About 40 minutes left in our stream. Just again, patiently waiting for confirmation. Still just bouncing off the bottom of this range. Market moving back up. Remember, our bias is still bearish. We're more interested in seeing a sell setup than a buy. Price just gesticulating still. Price retracing back up to the 20 EMA, rejecting off of this. Now let's see if we want to get a, sorry, let's see if it wants to give us a deeper retracement or a confirmation. US 500 slowly making its way down as well. Still just waiting. Now this way of trading obviously gives us some time to focus and maneuver. Because what we teach our students is to go for a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. That's what we're looking for. With a smaller range, it's easier to make. You don't have to aim for these highs or anything. It's once we get a confirmation, which hopefully it gives us. And we'll just wait for that retracement. Our 1 to 3 is actually not going to be that far. Or at least that's our goal. But we're all at the mercy of the markets. Keep in mind, nothing is 100%. Our job is to give you the best way of creating a well-informed decision. Giving you the bias and letting you know exactly which direction the trends are. Price still just gesticulating within that range. Still just wicking from both sides. What they're doing is engineering new liquidity here. We're not going to fall for it, obviously. This is a trap. That's why it's important to wait for confirmation and then a bigger move than this. They're trying to create buy and sell orders. Slowly moving its way up. $30 left in our stream. Hoping to get confirmation before that. So nothing of interest. The average retail trader sees all this rejection here, and they get in for a buy. We get everything right now. Everything is telling us that this is a bearish market. We either look for the best possible entry to go short or nothing at all. I'm not interested in a counter trend move right now. And on the smaller time frames, 5 minute, 1 minute, 15 minute, even 30 minute, we are still bearish. So right now this quote unquote support line that retail traders are looking at to go for a buy is not a move based off of, again, confluence. It's based off of a simple understanding of what they think is happening. We'd rather wait for that retracement and then look for a sell. But I'd like to get confirmation first. Just waiting. Now we're slowly starting to get some movement. Again, what we want to see, if it finally does break out of this range, is to tap here, push down, or give us a confirmation retracement. Those are the two things that could possibly happen. Either retrace back up, then push down, or get confirmation, then retrace, then push down. Those are the only two moves that we're going to be focusing on and interested in. If it just keeps going up and breaks the top of this range, then if we're still within our trading time before noon, then we'll look for a potential buy. But outside of that confirmation, not interested. There's more of an advanced entry happening here. One of the ones we teach on the back end, the Learning Hub. So the next move, once it breaks out of this range, is going to tell us exactly which direction this thing wants to go. Because the next move will most likely be a manipulation move. Minutes left in our stream. See if we can't get that confirmation. Slowly trying to give us confirmation. Under 4 minutes for that candle close. Let's see if this is our confirmation. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Minute, 30 seconds. Again, what we want to see is confirmation, retracement, and a push down. Even in that retracement, we're not looking for a buy. I want to see it come back into this zone off of one of these key points. Could even be this bottom range outlined here, the gray line, the dotted line, the fair value gap here in red. I just want to see something that's obvious. Rejection, rejection. I want to see it stay under the 50 EMA. Now, I'd be interested to see how far deep it goes. "34 seconds left. We should be getting our confirmation, unless it pulls back. Let's see. Okay, we got our confirmation. Now we want to see retracement to a key level. Apologize if the charts are moving a little slow here. So far, no significant retracement. Got about 13 minutes left in our stream. We want to see at least 3 candles reject off of one of these key zones. Excuse me. No real retracement yet. Price pushing down. Well, again, unless we see a retracement back to one of these key zones, that's the only time we can look for an entry. If this thing takes off without us, then it takes off without us. Remember at the beginning, we're only aiming for one successful trade a week. With 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, that gives you roughly 12% for the month. That should be your goal at the beginning. And if you're only going for one trade, you can be patient. If they don't fit your criteria, then you don't take them. Now, most likely this retracement will come more probably within the next 15 to 20, maybe even 30 minutes. And then rejection. So most likely after we log off the live stream. We're working on putting together a Telegram where we can actually post our post-market analysis for anybody who misses the stream, and they can watch it or check it out at a later point to see where those targets were, why we forecasted them, and just use it for educational purposes. 8 minutes left in the stream. We'd like to see a retracement. Look like we might be getting that retracement. This is an extremely, extremely bearish market today. Four minutes left in the stream. Slowly starting to get that pullback now. We'll most likely take out at least these tops, but it could turn around anywhere from here to here or higher. But we'd like to see it at least clear this so we know it's a proper pullback. And there's no more reason for it to come back up here. Or even if it taps here, hits the 50, rejects. Either way, we're looking for a definitive bearish setup now. There's a fair value gap in here. So price could just tap this and push out, but as mentioned before, I'd like to see it hit one of our main lines. We got a minute left in the stream. So unfortunately, we did not see the pullback that we wanted to see. This would have been an interesting key zone, just because there is a fair value gap here, and we do have the bottom of the range formed by the wicks. It does look like it's gesticulating, but I want to see at least a couple candles reject. And then ideally, maybe one of them would even wick up here and push back down. So this would have been a good zone, but unfortunately we are out of time. If you enjoyed the market analysis, please join us again tomorrow. We are live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10:30 all the way to noon. Check us out on Fractal Effects, and have a good day.